part of what we want to do is make sure that this is a revenue positive. I'm a businessman, Tim's a business. We have lots of hard-nosed businessmen in our community that say this can't cost people a nickel. If we can't come forward with a business plan that says this creates money every year and supports itself, I don't want to be part of it. Now it's going to cost something to start. Hopefully we'll get that from some other sources, but this should not cost. This is not going to be a project that has to come and beg for money every year. If it is, it's not going to happen. What we have to do now is assure both ourselves, the city and the community, that this is in fact an organization that will not require annual and ongoing funding. However, to do that, we're going to need some money to get these feasibility studies done.
I have a problem with funding some of these items. I think for us to have a market assessment and feasibility study is reasonable, but for the city to pay for a promotional documentary, community media, education and awareness, that doesn't seem to fall into our scope. The other one is the fundraising consultants. You guys should have had those done to have some sort of funding like everything else. We like to see that organizations are doing the work first, that other organizations have stepped up with funding so we can match. I haven't really seen on what the commitment from these other organizations are, so I can't really support a $100,000 commitment until we see that there is some other people that are willing to come aboard.
Despite providing assurances to Nanaimo taxpayers for the last 2 years that it would be entirely funded by private investors and other levels of government, the Nanaimo Deep Discovery Association is looking for $100,000 from the City of Nanaimo for feasibility studies and the production of a documentary. Lauren Hildebrandt, president of the Nanaimo Deep Discovery Association, addressed Nanaimo City Council on June 25th, along with 2015 federal Liberal Party candidate Tim Tessier, to request $100,000 from the City of Nanaimo. The money, Hildebrandt argued, is necessary for the association so that they can perform feasibility studies, which would be needed in order to secure funding from the federal and provincial governments. Now, some on council took issue with motions on the fly, with Councillor Jim Kipp taking issue with the fact that this funding request was brought to council's attention just right before the meeting.
But this is a motion on the fly for me, and so I'm having trouble with it right now. I hear matching funds, I hear 100,000, I hear 120,000. I wonder why we would be paying a fundraiser 29,000. Come on. There's a whole bunch that goes along with giving 100,000 for a project. So from my perspective, I don't like motions on the fly. I don't like them. We don't know where the money's coming from, who's giving it up, what it's coming from. It hit the table, I understand, just before tonight's meeting. So the information wasn't given forward for me to think on, so I'm not willing to make any motions on this tonight.
Councillor Ian Thorpe was very much in support of providing the Deep Discovery Association, which plans on building a $50 million aquatic science center at One Port Drive with seed money for this project, and believes that Nanaimo City Council should show leadership in providing the association with the money required for their market research.
I do support the project. I think it's a wonderful project, and I have heard nothing but public support for this concept, and I want to see it move forward. The reason I don't feel that I am inclined to support your motion, Mr. Mayor, is that I think the city should be showing the leadership in this initiative, not simply sitting back and saying we'll match what somebody else does. I think the onus is on us, not on the Hospitality Association, not on the realtors. I would like to see the city take the initiative and show leadership and indicate that we are interested in supplying seed money for this project to move ahead.
Definitely an election season. Eventually, after more debate and a motion from Mayor McKay to provide matching funds to the project as long as other partners pitch in for their fair share, Councillor Jerry Hong finally realized that this debate should not even be taking place at this particular meeting, and that it should have been brought up at a Finance and Audit Committee meeting, considering that the association was asking for $100,000 and all.
Shouldn't this have come before Finance and Audit? Because
It's money related?
As process goes, do we defer to finance and audit? Is this what we're supposed to do? Like, I'm just trying to be fair, and I support the project, but if we start doing this again for what we were trying to do with finance and audit, it kind of defeats the purpose of having finance and audit again. So I thought we would discuss all that stuff there. So would it be correct to refer to finance and audit? Is that the right thing to do?
It's within your purview to do so.
So I like to make that motion. I think it's the right thing to do because we want to get other organizations knowing that coming before council for money on the fly and for us to make decisions is difficult. And the proper process is to go through finance and audit. Maybe one of the questions that when somebody asks is, are you asking for money? And I'm actually defer to that. Thank you. So a motion to defer finance and audit or send it to finance and audit committee. Is that the proper, or?
Refer it to finance and audit for consideration.
Okay.
At that point, council sent the matter off to the Finance and Audit Committee, whose membership comprises of, you guessed it, Nanaimo City councillors.